Lifetime Member Award. Tell us how you're feeling.
Emotional, and it's an unbelievable climax to a 55-year, I'm not retiring, but a 55-year journey, you know, and as I said, it's five decades of seeing unbelievable changes in the industry, and the last 10 years in particular, for me, has been just the most rewarding, and I'm very appreciative of it, you know. It's been a great ride. My business has succeeded, and the affiliation with ATIA in the last part, but the people you're dealing with, it makes, I'm sorry to be so click, but it makes you a better person. You're dealing with people you're competing with, and yet you're in a room talking about issues for the industry, and it's a humbling experience, and it makes you think better, clearer, and for the better.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, look, you touched on unity there, and that's the big word, I think, coming out of the pandemic particularly. Something that you've been particularly instrumental in.
Yeah, I've been reflecting on that over the last year or so, like we all have. I think prior to that, when I look back, I think prior to that, the travel industry, and I'm starting to call industry a travel for some bloody reason, but anyway, travel industry, we were a collective of individuals, and since COVID and those lockdowns, particularly in Victoria, and the state bungling the thing, that put so much pressure onto our people, and they learned that to get somewhere, we had to really get down in the trenches and fight for it. And that, as a collective, that's the first time we've really had to do that. And then doing that right across the country with everybody, all of the AFTA board members leading, it started to galvanise into hey, we are really an industry that should be reckoned with. Because my first forays into Canberra were a shock to the system. They had no idea about the travel industry. That was a lot of hard work had gone on prior, and you get people, ministers and stuff changing, and the reaction we got in that first few months was outrageous. And that's really what put the fire under the belly. Jules knows that. I came home sometimes quite distraught. And I think over time, switching of the CEOs, etc., and also in Dean coming on board, and just before Dean came in, we started to get a structure of grassroots, and we started to get a structure inside our own minds and proposals where we started to get some traction. And the heavy guys, as I mentioned in there, were definitely part of that, and getting ministers and even the Prime Minister's advisory group to understand how critical this was to 30 to 40 to 50,000 people. If you add their families into that, it's 100,000. So the impact on them would have been, you know, sort of catastrophic, and to the Australian economy.
Yep.
Because not everybody wants to make a booking online. Online agencies are going well, but that personal touch is still a very important part of what happens. And it will remain that way, even in with the cascade of AI coming on board. So that'll all be used, hopefully, for the right causes. And that connection between the traveller and the travel agent is really a very personal connection. Yeah. And I like nothing more than, I'll finish up, you know, saying that if I go on a holiday, you know, I meet people like we just did in Canada and the US. You make lifetime friends. You're going to go back there. They're going to come out here. It's a two-way street. You know, travel is just intrinsic to what happens to humans on the planet. And we're trying to think of it as one little box. Travel agents are going to finish.
Very true. Yep.
You know, it's just not correct. It's part of the way of life.
Yeah. Well, you must feel very proud right now, I'm guessing, Tom.
Yeah, no, I am proud, and as I say, honoured, and also, yeah, I feel little.